Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
And an open mind and an open mind. We ask each and every one to most definitely keep. Welcome to Reasoning Thursday, another segment of Reasoning Thursdays with yours truly, Lady D, the Respecter Queen, Mama Acid on the ones and twos. Yes. All right. This is part two, as I guess we're gonna call it part two of the state of Jamaica. Yeah. And on this part two, I guess we're gonna deal with the government, on the government of Jamaica. On the government of Jamaica. I know that I gotta make sure my the mic is in my face. Yeah, but we're gonna be dealing with we're gonna be reasoning on the state, the government of Jamaica in our part two. Always feel free to call in, dial in, and all these things with us, and be a part of the Reasoning Thursday movements. All right, because the numbers right here is 706-955-2001. When the lines are open, please feel free. We're gonna wing it. We're gonna kind of sort of wing it because we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about in respect to the government of Jamaica. But before we go there, let's go with the respecter. The respecter. You want to say hello to your listening audience?
You mean after you just mute my mic?
Yes, yes, because
Unruly behavior.
you all don't have y'all have no behavior. We're coming on live and you all have no behavior. Right? Go ahead, SB.
Manners, and respect. Thanks for joining us once again.
All right, Queen.
Good night, good night, good night. Blessings, blessings upon blessings. Like Respecter said, thanks for joining us another Reasoning Thursday.
Mama Acid.
Okay, let me mute my background sound and say welcome. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you will enjoy being with us tonight. It might get a little lively, but we're going to try our best to be informative, even if we still have to be personal.
Did everyone take their medication?
I took extras.
I'll take mine after. Because I still have a way of creating drama. Oh, I take mine after.
I want to make sure that everyone took their medication for this Reasoning Thursday today. Okay. All right. If you received the link, share the link. If you're picking us up from YouTube or Facebook, want to say welcome. If you're picking us up from our website, www.dapowerhouseradio.com, want to say welcome. If you're listening via the telephone lines at 667-930-9036, we want to say welcome to you. Through our TuneIn app, we want to say welcome any of the outlets. We also want to welcome each and everyone that's tuning in via the You Choose Radio. I want to say big shouts to DJ VJ Smiles, Ross Dougal. Massive shouts go out to you all. Also, we want to send big shouts go out to the Victorious 89.1 FM crew. Want to say welcome if you're listening via that outlet as well. We want to say greetings and welcome to you. Well, we're just going to kick it off. We're going to dive right in there. Government. diving right into the government of Jamaica. There's so much things going on with Jamaica. First, are do we want to just give? Well, I think everyone basically know PNP, JLP, the Maroons. They know a lot of what's going on with Jamaica, and the government itself, because it's evident, it's in the news, is all about. But we wanted to get a little bit more deeper into it and some of the things that are going on with the present government, and what exactly are the opposition party is trying to bring forth when they said let's make a change. Things such as we want to dig on down into it. We want to reason as well on the oil that they're saying that they found, which they haven't necessarily found, but we're going to talk about that as well. We also want to reason on the JPS. What's going on with the JPS? What's the state of all of that? And and the Water Commission. We want to dig a little bit deeper in that. The corruption of Jamaican government. Um, you know, the root cause of it. Why? How long is this? How long is this? This corruption has been stretching throughout Jamaica, and what can us as the people, the citizens of Jamaica, do to make a change in some of the laws and constitutions and bylaws and all of these things. So we're going to be touching in and reasoning on all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, where do we want to pick up and start at?
Well, we talked about that incident last week in Clarendon. Well, this week the prime minister declared that no matter where he has to go to find these individuals, including America, he is now working with different entities in terms of pulling out these people who caused this violence. This happened 2 weeks straight. The first one in Clarendon, then there was another one. I think it's Hanover. I'm not sure where the other one was, but several people died also there. So they're saying that this is stemming from that whatever war was going on from 2014 coming down. It's like so now they're taking retribution and they're just killing people, and he's gonna get to the bottom of it. He was on a news conference last night talking about this, and that he's now working with the American government to bring them back to Jamaica, extradite them back to Jamaica.
Well,
So it's a big thing going on.
the second one that you're referencing to is the one at Christopher Martin's grandmother's wake.
Yes, yeah,
And there was 8 persons
that,
injured, and one that was what they call it. What they said. Um, they have all
it's
types of words, but that
yeah.
passed.
It
Um,
I'm just saying that it is so sad that these things are still going on after so many years. 2014, that's a long time. And the thing is that the government knew this was going on, and they really haven't really done much about it, because now they're reaching out to America. They should have been done that before this happened. Seeing that they knew that there was some kind of rivalry or some type of gang war or whatever was going on.
um,
Um, it shows you that there isn't much investigation going on in Jamaica, and no one is being held accountable again.
well, my question, and then we will bring in the respective Mama Acid into it. My perspective on it is why now? Why really
Mhm,
now?
mhm.
Look how many mass shooting has been going on in Jamaica year after year after year after year. Is this something to make the current administration look good in the eyes of the citizens to get revoted in? I mean, like, why now? Why? What is so big about this that is happening now that has been happening for years, as you stated, Queen? Years these mass
Yeah,
have been carrying on. Rather,
Mhm.
what about the missing? What about all the
Yeah.
missing people that are going missing? Where is those investigations? I mean, like, really, why
4-year-old child missing right now.
why
Yep.
now?
Mm,
The all of the corruption and all of what's going on in Jamaica. Why now is this thing is these shootings such a big thing? They know from long time Dans, it's alleged that Dans have been ordering hits and things on persons
mhm,
for years from prison. May it be from America or may it be from Jamaica or or other places, in the Caribbean or in the world. There are hits being put out time after time. So why such a drastic emergency move all of a sudden? What was all of these state of emergencies for? What was
mhm,
all of these things all about that now it is such a let's call America into it kind of thing? The respect.
mhm,
You're very smart,
Thank you.
very smart, because it makes no sense. And
Mhm.
there's many ways to put money in your pocket. Government really think that everybody is an idiot.
mhm,
There's so many ways for them to put money in their pocket. Oh, they're gonna put out a reward. Who's
mhm,
gonna get that reward?
Yeah.
The reward money is staying right with that person who made that offer. Government is like a loose cannon. They only thinking of self. They don't care not even about babies. They only speak what they want. They think they want you to hear. None of them is serious about the people. Corruption been going on forever, like you say, lady. Forever. Why now? Parents are loose. Some of them, because you can't have your little child being missing, kidnapped. What are you doing so much so that you're not paying attention to your child?
mm,
And it's just so many corruption, so many wrongs doing in Jamaica. It's not just with government. It is with those who are holding the camera and making a movie, telling a story. They're not seeing the wrong they're doing. And a grown man still won't say, yo, bro, I'm not a murderer. You can't find another word to call me, another name. Not murderer. I mean, just so many things that Jamaicans are doing without thinking. If the country is in chaos, government ain't doing right. The people ain't doing right. The young ones are gonna suffer and suffer and suffer because they're hearing the older ones speaking like idiots, acting like idiots. So the corruption is not just with government, it's with the people in Jamaica because they're not using the knowledge that they have to say, let's cut out certain things. Because I'm speaking this way, I'm going to draw these young people into this next thing, call another person murderer. What's up, murderer? So you're adding to the problem, and then you're putting it out there in a movie. The scamming. You know how many people suffering to this day because they didn't know better, got tricked and all the money is gone, and they're putting it in movies. Why now, lady? Why now?
Why now? That's the big question. That's the big question that I have really posing it to the government, and maybe we need to write write a letter to the government asking them like, why now? Big ups to you, Don Mine. It says greetings. I'm Lady D and the panel. Greetings to
Big up, Dan.
yes.
good night, Don.
Yeah, good night. And you know, that is one of the biggest questions. Mama Acid, you want to jump in that? Donna, before Mama Acid jump in, Donna says most of everything is a movie, Respecta. Donna says, Go ahead, Mama E.
Oh wow. Big up, Don. Yeah, I think that in terms of corruption and the way that systemically Jamaica has wound into the ground head first, none of us really has any idea what's going on because there's just so many things going on in different places that we don't know where they all connect. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary, it's dangerous, and it also breeds a different type of criminal because someone reminded me the other day Jamaica is engaging in cross border criminality and criminal behavior. Remember, Jamaica is the recipient, just like Venezuela, of a lot of the guns that are collected by the government and also from the military. They are shipped to Jamaica along with ammunition to be used by the JDF, and I believe some of them are even passed down to the JCF. When Jamaica got its first Black Hawk helicopter, it came as part of the Weed and Seed program. So corruption in the military and politics in Jamaica is endemic and it goes all the way back to when white people first set foot on the island. It's just that now it seems to have gotten to the point that no one is immune. Not even rich people, not even the poorest person, not even little bitty babies. Everybody is up to be a sacrifice.
And it's really it's really sad. And there's no one, not even the integrity committee, no one is holding them, holding the government accountable
Well,
for all of
well,
what's
right now, I heard Jay Progress. He put out a blog, and the blog that he put out, he was talking about indico, and he was talking about the role that indico plays in maybe even some of what is going on, because he was saying that the the indico was established to sort of look over people's rights. Okay, if they're being um maltreated or if they're being locked up for I'm trying to find a word, don't mind me. But if they're being locked up falsely, okay? But what's happening now from what he is saying and pointing out, and he do make sense, he's saying that they are blocking, really blocking the preventive methods that are being put out there in terms of fighting the crime. He said Jamaican crime uh um what you call them, gang, Jamaican gang, they are so powerful, and they are getting so much money and ammunition that it is hard for the police to handle them. And sometimes you need drastic you need to put out drastic punishments out there for these people, but yet still they're saying indico is blocking them from carrying out these tasks. I'm not sure how true that is,
but
but
wait,
this is,
one moment.
yeah, yeah.
Indicom is blocking whom from carry out one task.
He's blocking the police and the crime preventing um um agencies, because they're saying that
I thought that was the
they're being too lenient. He's saying they're too being too lenient on these gangbangers and these men who are killing children and older folks and what have you. He's saying,
who
and
Queen.
because he was saying more or less they get 2 years, 3 years. and they're back out there doing the same thing. So he said there need to be more drastic measure, but Indico, he's saying, is blocking all of this from happening. It's just like the UN. You have the UN that governs all the country, and
Yeah,
they determine what is what i- i-
yeah,
um
Queen.
is inhumane.
Indicom is supposed to be for the people,
It's
and
supposed to be
they are the one who have been investigating police brutality,
right,
police being forceful in a lot of,
right.
but they do not govern the courts. It's up to
No,
it's
but
up to one moment. It's up to the judicial system. It's up to the judicial system that passes down the sentences and stuff like that. Indicom is just investigating any type of brutality or any type of force, that's unwarranted force that is being used. There was an article that came out, Eva, where there was questions that I even addressed last week, that there were questions in regards to the force and the murders that the some of that it's alleged that some of these officers are committing on unarmed citizens, not just suspected criminals or suspected gangsters or anything such as or dons or etc., but what is going on with just everyday normal citizens, the force that is being. So I'm not
well,
sure.
that is his opinion. He's more or less saying that instead of them working with the police, they're working with the crime. Like he's saying, they have a problem with the police and not with the crime. That's what he is saying. But in some sense, I can see that because there's a lot of these young men out there that are just wicked. I mean, wicked. And from what he's saying is that he's saying that because of these agencies, they're able to get off with a year or 2 year in jail, and they're back out doing the same thing. So he's saying that some of these laws need to be more drastic because he's not just pointing to Indigo, he's pointing to the government in general because he's saying Indigo is part of the government and that they should have more stricter penalty for these offenders so they don't come out as quickly as they're coming out, and should have more control over the crime prevention entities in the country.
Queen.
One moment.
Yes, sir.
I
One moment, the respecter. Don says this is what happens when the forgotten becomes the predator. They prey on the weak to enrich themselves. Very rare do you hear of the upper class being victimized. It's always the defenseless poor. Go ahead,
Hmm.
the respecter. That's true, Don. Definitely.
Yeah, true,
yeah,
true.
And when it
yeah,
hits them in the belt, that's when there's an issue. Go ahead, the respecter. I'm sorry.
yeah. The government needs the crime. Government entertain the crime. Without the crime, government is not going to be the way government wants to be. So the government initiate the crime, and they know what they're doing while they're keeping crime going. If they wanted to do different with these young people, these young people, why not put them in the military? Why not take them out of that community and put them into the military?
Why do they have to go into the military? Why don't they give them a trade? Why don't they open these
Ah, hmm,
Something, something,
open trade
anything.
and teach them the trade?
yeah.
Why don't they give them land to harvest where they can start a farm, the ones whom don't have land? Why don't they, there's lots of other places more than just giving them guns and guns to go out there and cause more harm. Because that's one of the situations right now in Jamaica. Guns. Where are these guns coming from? You know, that it is so rapid in Jamaica. Where are all of these coming from? What is the government doing? Which obviously we can see that there's not much that is being done because of the fact that there's more that is being
But
coming. Why nothing can be done? We don't own any ports. We don't know, we don't own.
But not just that. You heard what Acid said when she first started out. She said that they have been sending these guns that they don't know, that they no longer need, from America and other countries. They send it to Jamaica, and she mentioned another country. I think Nicaragua, one of those countries
Yeah,
she
but once
mentioned.
again, Queen,
But
who
all of these
sent
guns are there. It's just that the government, when you remember when they used to have elections, they would give these young men guns to go out there and kill
so
each other
therefore you're
because of elections.
Queen,
Those guns are still
Queen,
out there.
Queen, you're
Yes.
saying whom people are still sending the guns. Whom is sending the guns?
The government,
One
the
moment,
and big business, big
Queen,
men with
moment,
yes.
Queen, please. Mama Acid, you can jump in.
Okay, so the guns. It started as a tradition with Siaga. The election was Siaga. That was how Siaga got his nickname CIA Siaga.
Yeah, we definitely know where the guns is has started coming in. We know that all of these MPs and all of these people needed the guns to come in to give to the Dans, the alleged Dans and the whomever in these communities because they were the one who was defending and forcing persons to go and to vote. It's alleged. Okay,
Okay.
so we definitely know where those things are coming from. We know where it's coming from.
You want to talk about
And
where
it's
the
still coming
modern
in.
Where
Still
the
you
coming in.
modern, right?
you want to talk about the modern iteration of where are the guns coming from, right?
We're current. Yes.
Okay, so lately, a lot of the weapons that are in Jamaica are hybrids. This is a report that came out from the United Nations. It was surprising to me. I read it. It's on the United Nations website. And it also talks about the rate of violence and it talks about the ages that are most involved in the gun violence. And it's it's really upsetting because the ages are younger and younger. Now, the typical gun carrying person in Jamaica is a single digit. It could be an 8 or 9 year old kid. Why? Because that's how many guns there are out there. Why do these kids have guns? Because either somebody gives it to them or they buy one because they feel they need it in order to protect themselves because they feel that they are in a very dangerous existence.
Yes.
Where do they get this from? They look at the crime statistics on TV. They see how many of their friends are getting shot. They see what crime is going on. They listen to the music, which openly promotes not just violence and gun, murder, death, all of this, and Jamaica has a law against it, but does not choose to exercise it, not only against recording artists who make these records, but against any company who promotes and puts them out. That would include recording studios and radio stations, and also TV or promoters who would have this at their dance. So the real question is, does Babsy really do her job?
Does the government really do their job?
Oh,
She
No.
is the
where's the
minister
government?
of culture. It is her job to monitor the social culture of the island, the country. And if she, as the MP for social culture, does allow all of this exposure to extreme violence. Had she not seen the reports that said kids who are brought up on violence soon become criminals and are dying at record numbers? I
Listen,
theorize, and this is just me theorizing, after having read all this stuff, she knows this. I don't need to add any more because I think my feelings about her are very well clear to everyone.
The guns are coming in, and
The
the
guns are being made in
They,
Jamaica too.
they've been
Don't
there.
forget that.
They've been there.
Donna Moody said the guns represent the military. A lot of military veterans are running gangs
Hmm.
the same way that they were trained. And the
That's
reporting,
that's the ones that are being shipped in. But the guns, the hybrids are being made in Jamaica. Why and how they're being made? Because the gun printers are in Jamaica. Who brought them in? We don't really have any visual proof, but the machines come from China. Where does the material to make the guns come from? China.
Yeah.
So it would seem that the Chinese who are in Jamaica are part of the gun problem. And I would wonder why the government, knowing this in particular, has not addressed it directly with the people who now own the ports and have no security whatsoever to prevent these types of devices from coming in and causing major amounts of death, crime, murder, and just it's corruption. I I I, I can't hold it. I'm sorry. It's busting out of my head. The word is corruption. Someone is getting paid to assist in all this happening. It's not happening on its own. If people are in charge of government and they're not doing anything when this is happening and they have the statistics because the statistics are handed to them not only by other ministers of Parliament, but also by the news media and by the United Nations, as I said. When Jamaica became a murder hotspot in the Caribbean, the United Nations, at the urging of the United States, published a crime watch for Jamaica and made a red flag go up for tourism. Jamaica did not like that. So Jamaica protects its tourists by killing its own citizens.
mm,
And I am sorry that I have to say that, but that's what the report said.
Don't be sorry. It's true.
it's go ahead, the
It's
respecter.
true.
Hmm.
No need to be sorry. Government of Jamaica is this sucks. They're evil, and the entertainment field do not have any leaders because it's been like this forever. What you put out there in the public for these young people to receive, listen to, and put into action, and government is right there hearing it and could stop it, and they chose not to, just because they want the crime to elevate and elevate so they can have something to make money off of. They allow too many countries to bring in guns. The stupid fishermen who go out and bring in the guns. It is sick and sad. It's not going to change no time soon because China is not running Jamaica.
That's why it brings me back to my question, even like why now such the urgency where there's awards being given where this money was never there before, but all of a sudden now the money is there for
Exactly.
awards.
Because they have an agenda.
Uh-huh.
Well,
There
can I
is
make
an agenda.
my ugly statement? I really want to say it.
One
So,
moment, that's it. Go ahead, Queen. Finish your statement.
Yeah, they have an agenda. There is an agenda to eradicate all the gangs in Jamaica. And the gangs are made comprised of young black Jamaicans. Okay? Now, the thing is that they're not trying to help these kids. Like we talked about late D and was talking earlier about the schools and the programs that they need to develop to assist these kids. If these kids have nothing to do, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna go out in the street, and that's what is happening. These kids have nothing to look forward to, so they end up joining these gangs because these gangs are showing some initiative to them where they're telling them, okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you this and this if you do this and this. These kids have no other way out because some of these parents, they're struggling just to put food on the table. Today at 12 o'clock, I watched this news broadcast where, and this was Jamaica TV, and they were talking about what is going on in Port Maria. What happened is that these people have been waiting on this money. They're supposed to have gotten this check. It's called a pat payment. And they're supposed to have gotten this money. They have these people running from Yalo all the way to Port Maria. And when they get there, there is no money there for them. I heard that some of these are seniors passing out because they are hungry. They have no money to buy food. I mean, and it's how do you think they're going to take care of these children? So these kids have to go out there and fend for themselves or even help the family. So they go out there, they join these gang, they get a few dollars when they perform whatever the deed is, which is killing older folks and killing young people. Ah, that's the goal to get eradicate young people in Jamaica because they're all gang members. Okay, you have to be the elite, live uptown in order to be considered a good person. You live downtown, you're considered a gang member, and that's what's going on in Jamaica. And they have to put a stop to it. The government needs to put a stop because they're in control. They're the ones sending out these people out there to do these kids like that. Okay, because if you are the government, you're supposed to have control of the public, of the police force. You're supposed to have control of everything that goes on in that country. So I'm just like through, and I sound a little aggravated, which I am. This is crazy. It's crazy what's going on. No
But
rights.
you're saying
Mm.
the government should have control. The government is in control. They're in
Oh
control
yeah,
of what
trying to
they
get rid of that
be.
man. Mm.
They want to be what they're in control of what they want to be in control of.
Mm.
So, um, uh, as far as when you say the crime, they are well
Mhm.
aware of the crime the same way they can go and pull up I and get information of whom says what and be able to get the alleged gang members that they really want
In
to get
space of 2 weeks, huh?
them, and some of them is not even hiding. They're plainly, they're playing in their face. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
and you have to understand as well what my thought on it is that you have to understand that they need these gangs. A lot of them need just about 90% of government. They need these gang members. So therefore, they have to walk a thin line. You understand? Because that's how they get their votes. That's how they are protected. A lot of them are protected. So, how much can we expect from the
Mm.
government? Donna says the military are government thugs. They are.
Mhm.
They are government.
Yeah, and the government
So
use
my
these
question is,
people to scare as scare tactics for the citizen. They
my
use the soldiers and the police.
go ahead, Mama Acid. You were saying something before.
Sorry, honey.
Before you
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was saying that the way that the structure of government in Jamaica works is whoever has the most guns is in control. They don't have to bring them in your face. All they have to do is kill all your relatives and make it so that the holes in the roads to get to your house are bigger than the ones to get to Parliament. They don't have to fix the water. They don't have to fix the electricity in St. Elizabeth. For it to be 2024 and the people in St. Elizabeth not to have running water or to have electricity, what would they expect people to do? Would they expect that people are going to constantly keep driving around these mm, driving around these massive holes in the road and going out to streams in order to bathe and wash their clothes in 2024? This is the this is the choice of government. It's not the fault of people. It's the choice of government. So when people say it's time for change, my question is a little bit more to the side of that. And I would like to understand what the two dinosaur parties can bring to Jamaica other than a discussion that we can't even find their platforms on their websites because they're not there. It's just like the way the government's website hasn't been actually updated since before COVID existed. So we have to understand that we don't make any of this happen. We sit back and are unfortunately plagued by it, and we are dismayed by it. But we have generations that have been made disabled, and unfortunately, anger has been created by it. When is it time to let these people who don't see anything else go somewhere else? Because asking this question over and over and over and over while we watch people shoot up family
Mm.
bingo night and 9 nights for people while suddenly $25 million materializes that didn't exist before, and no one wants to explain the origins of where the $25 million came from, should worry us all because it proves to us that corruption really does run rampant and in front of our faces. And, the very fact that Mark Golden recently had the nerve in an interview to say that he feels it's time for there to be two senators appointed to the parliament from the diaspora shows me that he is just looking for leverage to reach out further in order to further his side's corruption and also to see what the other side is going to do in 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 furtherance of their corruption. So I don't see either party doing anything good for Jamaica. I don't see either party addressing any of these issues. I asked about uh, the water plan from Miss Hannah, and we don't even know where she is these days, let alone the water plan. But here we are sitting here wondering, talking about it amongst ourselves, knowing that this is a direct result of the government failing to act when it was in their faces. Has anyone even talked about? I don't know if y'all even realize that JPS is owned by the Koreans and the Japanese. It's a consortium. 92% of the stock of JPS is owned by the Koreans
They
and
said
the Japanese.
they said 80% is owned by the Korean and the Japanese, and 20% is supposed to be for the people. Which what people are we talking about? This 20% is for. Is
Yeah.
it politicians? Because the people are suffering.
They're not getting it. They're not getting it.
That are coming out
You
now.
see, the thing is, our government is so slack that they take anything. Anybody come up with some money, they take it and run with it. I mean,
I,
how can you let a country come into your country and own the roads, own everything in the country, and you have nothing? You have nothing for your people. There is nothing there for these people.
If there is
How can you do that unless you're corrupt?
if there is policies and procedures that the government has or mandates that the government has for through let's go on into the JP in this let's go into the JPS that since Acid you brought it forth um
Mhm,
these mandates. I'm not understanding. I understand that the Japan and the Koreans, it's they saying that it's owning 80% of these companies. But where in the mandates or the laws that can change some of what is going on? Why the government does not get another company, because I feel competition is the way. If JPS doesn't have any form of competition, all right, the Water Commission has no form of competition. So when it's one entity that we are depending on in any country, in any country. If there's one entity that a person is depending on, then they could set the bar to any level that they want to set this bar to because there's no competition. And if you don't use them, who are you gonna use? So
mhm,
the citizens of Jamaica is left with nowhere to turn. They have
mhm.
they have nowhere to turn. And this is where I feel the government needs to seriously get involved. And I would like to know what is the hindrance of why they are not having another organization, company, agency to power Jamaica as well.
Lisa Hanna,
They
that's what
can't.
Lisa Hanna's plan was about creating, breaking up a monopoly and creating different zones, four different zones around Jamaica where it would create a non-monopolizing situation for electricity and water because she saw the value in allowing each community to control it because she saw that if you didn't break it up, it would be exactly like what happened with cell phones. Started out with Lime the with the Irish owning Jamaica cell phone service, and look where we're at now.
Okay.
So
Look, there's a there's
it's up to the government to the whole the parliament to come together and to vet out how many different companies that may can offer services to Jamaica. It's evident already that they are seeking outside electricity from having Japan and Korea being 80% in charge. Now go to find another if we can't find this in the country of Jamaica, and go somewhere else as well and see if we can't get another company to come and
but lady,
this Jamaica.
lady, Jamaica is not gonna do that because you see what happened? They're doing so many things undercover. That mining that is going on. Why you think we're having so much earthquake and what have you in Jamaica now?
Yeah,
Because they're
we're going
secretly mining. They're secretly
we're
mining.
going to get to the earthquake and stuff, but we have to
Yeah,
let's
I'm just saying, that they're doing things undercover. There are things that are not being exposed, and most, maybe some of the government don't even know what is going on. Just the list of the few that was chosen to do this. You never know. I mean, but there's a lot of corruption, a lot of things being hidden from the official, from the public. I mean, it's just, it's the bottom line. There's a lot of corruption and a lot of things that people do not know about that is going on in Jamaica.
and the people don't
And
want
in terms of getting funding from outside entities to build whatever they're planning on building in Jamaica? Because
And
there's something going on. Something going on there.
the people don't want to know.
People don't want to know, like Lady D. They don't
Exactly.
want to know.
Don't want to know because if the people wanted to know, then they will come together, protest, do what they have to do to know. And they are not. Jamaican people just go on day to day to day, on their merry ways, and and is not holding anyone accountable. There's no accountability in
Not
Jamaica,
not
and
only that, lady.
because before you, because even with the illicit aid, how come Jamaican citizens have not come out in droves like they did for Vibes Cartel, come out in droves and make up all of this noise that they demand to know who is the illicit aid? They don't want to know.
Mm.
What is they everyone is so bent on party. PNP, JLP, what was the next one that used to be there that's out in the blue? You know, maroon. Everybody is so big on different parties and sections and all of this that no one is questioning. What are the policies of the JLP? What are the policies that the PNP is coming out with that's going to make Jamaica better? No one is
There's none really.
asking questions. They're just
Mm.
because things are not manning up to the way that we would like it to look. Okay, let's get Andrew out and let's put Mark in. But what is Mark bringing? What is Mark going to do to make changes? Serious changes. And these changes that he wants to say that he's going to do, how is he going to do it? How are you going to make Jamaica better? Is it another set that's coming to fool the people, line their pockets, and move on, sell out the rest of what we have? I mean,
Mm.
what are they bringing to the table? What? Go ahead, the respecter.
Jamaica have 14 counties, and each county have their government, local officials. So outside of St. Thomas, I mean, I know there's like about five out of the 14 parishes is being run properly, where the citizens are living normal. There's decency and crime is low. So why can't the government in, say, Westmoreland look at what's going on in another parish and try to imitate them and run Westmoreland according to how they see it needs to be run, not worrying about nowhere else, and one each one follow each one. So when the time comes now to say, okay, we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, and Prime Minister and his people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, let us all get together, combine, and vote him out.
But aren't policies set up in each agency? Aren't there policies that was set up in each agency?
Well,
It's
see,
like a guide. Wasn't there a guideline that was set up in each agencies
the
to
guy,
do these things, not just to assist people in need, but to develop the structure of the country and other. I mean, like America, they have plans. They do a blueprint of what they're gonna be doing. It, aren't those things being done in Jamaica?
Don Minett says the people of Jamaica are mostly semi-illiterate who has no clue on how the government is destroying and selling out their land and natural resources. The educated elites are the beneficiaries. And that is totally true.
True.
But then again, it's not, I wouldn't say totally true. Let's say it's about 80% of it, I would say is true, Don, because you have persons in Jamaica whom are very smart and they are not clueless as to what's going on. There, I think a lot of Jamaicans, especially in the garrisons, they are afraid, and this fright, this fright have been put into this fear has been put into them from Wappy Kill Philip, because they were always underneath this donship and this and fear for their lives. Even today, as is evident, even with what is going on with these mass shootings that has been going on for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them a rare a lot of them is aware of what is going on, but hey, they some of them is just afraid for their lives, their
And
family
it's true.
lives.
It's true because they put the police and the soldier. Um, it's like there is no accountability for their actions. So of course, I mean, look at the clips we have shown over the past couple of months where you see them being arrested and they're being brutalized. Look at that woman that was beaten, you know, and nothing came of it. You don't hear anything more about it. It happened then and that was it. You don't hear nothing more about it. Look at the guy also that was put a gun to his head and what have you in plain view. We saw it on TV. Someone recorded and we saw it, and still you don't hear nothing more about those cases. It just went in the wind.
We're gonna take
No accountability.
a quick station update. All right, and then we're gonna get back into our reasoning on the state of Jamaica, on the state of Jamaica, and we're focusing tonight on government. We're gonna open our lines in a few, and for each and anyone that choose to call in and want to reason with us on their thoughts, and hopefully we can try to find some type of solution as to what is going on and how us as citizens possibly can come together and twist the arm of our government to produce better for us, the citizens. All righty, so let us take a quick station break.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
And we also want to send big shouts to our brother and sister stations that are streaming Reasoning Thursdays. Want to say big shouts to You Choose Radio, DJ VJ Smiles, along with Rastugu. Want to say massive shouts to you all. The Victorious crew, we want to say 89.1. We want to say greetings and big shouts to you all as well. For each and every one listening via our telephone lines, you can listen in through the telephone. You will continue to get your phone calls, all of those things. That's if you don't have internet. Well, even if you have internet and you just want to use your phone, you're more than welcome to do that at 667-930-9036, and also through all of our other medias that you all are listening with us through. The TuneIn app, you can all can go over, and everything is DA space Powerhouse Space Radio, and that's on YouTube, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, that's on Instagram, and Facebook. So it's on all of your social medias as well, where you can definitely link up and join us here. If you want a topic to be reasoned on, then always feel free to send us an email at dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com, and we will more than be happy to reason on the topic. There's no topic that is off limit right here on Reasoning Thursdays, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and how we reason about it. We thank all of our participants, and we ask you all to please participate. You could send us a message. You can also call in and voice your thoughts on all of our reasoning topics. We want to say thank you to our sponsors, One by One Kia, the best in hair care products, celebrity hairstylist, and doing up her thing, continuing to support us here on Reasoning Thursdays on the Powerhouse Radio. Want to say big shouts to the Hinkson Law Firm, and we thank the Hinkson firm to continue to promote us and sponsor us. And if you need some family court attorneys, you could definitely check out the Hinkson Entertainment Law, Family Law, things such as you can check out the Hinkson firm. Also, big shouts to Unique Total Care for supporting us. Want to say big shouts to you as well, to Unique Total Care each and every year. You all as well. Awesome Renovations. Want to say big shouts to Awesome Renovations for continuing to sponsor the Reasoning Thursday Mystique Enterprise. Big shouts to you, Mystique, as well for continuing to support us. And if you would like to become a sponsor, as well, you could just definitely send us a link at dapowerhouseradio at gmail.com and we'll most definitely get back with you. All right. Once again, big up yourself, DJ Smiles, and the You Choose Radio. It's all about the Jerk Fest that's going to be happening here in Atlanta. And I'm going to give you a little bit more information closer to the end of the program of the Grace Jerk Festival that's going on. So let's dive back in. And I think Mama Ass is having a little phone issues. So as soon as she gets back, I guess we'll pull her up and hear what else she has to say in regards to everything. So, Queen, I think you were. Let's talk about a little bit about this oil, this so-called
Yeah,
oil that this so-called oil that was found that has been leaking for years upon years, and now all of a sudden it's this great big thing. Let's reason a little bit on that.
yeah. It's 7 billion gallons that was found in Jamaica, right? And nothing has been said about it since it was first discovered. Um, there's a lot of mining, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of mining that is going on. And what they're doing, we're going to hit on that, lady, you said. It's because of the drilling that's going on, why there's so many earthquakes happening. But at the same time, the government is covering it up by saying it's because of the line that Jamaica is on. I took some notes on that, and they even talked about the largest line supposed to be here in America, but Jamaica is on that line, they're saying, and because of that, when the rocks hit together, it causes a reaction, and that reaction becomes a tremor, and the tremor is what the earthquake is. They're saying that it's been building up over the years. Each time you have one of the occurrence, it's making it even more prevalent for us to have more and stronger earthquake. But this is my opinion and not your written. I think what is going on is that they are secretly, the government is corrupt, like I said before, and I think they're in cahoots with some of these companies out there from abroad, and they are drilling secretly underground. They can't get most of the cockpit country, but there's some of the cockpit country that they did conquer because they're saying there's no line drawn there, that it's maroon owned. So this been going on. So they have been doing drilling up in those areas, and they're also doing drilling under the ocean. I have watched film clip where I've seen men in black diving suit under the water, and they're saying that they're snorkeling. There's more than that going on. They're down deep down in the ocean. I've seen clips with them. It's like these guys you call spearfishing, where they are the ones that are showing these on film. When they go dive into spearfish, they end up taking pictures of other people down in the water under the ocean. What are they doing over down there? Just floating around? There's a lot of stuff going on that I think is gonna come out to the surface pretty soon because these earthquakes are happening too frequent, and something has to be done and something is gonna happen.
Yeah. Um, it's a serious thing. The respecter.
Yeah, we've been talking about this underground thing for a while, and it's a fact that many of us know that's what's actually going on. That there's possibilities that most of the mountains in Jamaica is only a shell. Most of the mountains is completely gutted out, and they're traveling. They're doing underground behaviors as causing the earthquakes. And I do believe they backed up to a point where they can't go any further because they're now trying to invade Maroon territory.
Yep.
So they want to cut down some trees and try to continue their digging, and that's going to be a war because the Maroon's going to stand firm and not allow that to happen. Another thing with this oil, these people are planning. They've been planning for centuries, and this is how they become rich. How they find oil, and they know that it's a billion gallon. How the hell they know it's 1 billion gallon? And just like that, it's a price tag put on it. And this broke ass person is now a billionaire, and many become millionaire who are in the group, and nothing go the way they say it goes. The oil doesn't belong to them; it belongs to Jamaica. If it is oil, it doesn't
Hmm.
belong to them; it belongs to Jamaicans. But yet there's a price tag put on it, and now some unknown person is a billionaire for finding something that doesn't belong to him. It belongs to the citizens of Jamaica. And the weak government of Jamaica is not doing the right things to say, hey, back up. What you mean you fine?
But
Wait a minute,
you,
Queen. Wait a minute.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Hmm.
go ahead, the respecter.
It is disturbing. And this is when Jamaicans, no matter how afraid they are, should come together, groups all over the island, and march or send some messages to government. Say, look, this is what should be done. And we're not going to accept anything less than what's supposed to be done because we got to stop. They made most of Jamaicans and entrepreneurs, businessmen and women, go broke because they allow other countries to stop the production of marijuana. So Jamaican government allows it, and then the same countries they manufacture it and making billions of dollars off of it, and Jamaicans who are the best at it is broke. It's just too many corruptions, things that could have been stopped by government of Jamaica. And I hope that the people of Jamaica get some braveness and start to confront government.
You s- you see what I don't understand, lady? Can I speak now?
One moment, Mama Acid. Go ahead.
Oh, she back. Oh, hey sis.
Hey, sis. Um, I want to follow up with what the respecter was just saying. Uh, Lady D, go way, way back in your memory bank
Uh-huh.
when about 2009, 2008, we had a conversation about them finding oil in the cockpits.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
So when we heard about it, the first thing we questioned was who were the owners of the oil? Whose land was the oil on? And as a natural resource, did the owners of the land also own the natural resource, or was it like the air rights, which no one can buy or own over their own property? But in the United States, you can. So the question at that point was exactly the same question that we're raising tonight, and that is who will benefit from it, but who the actual owner is still is up for discussion because, quite frankly, I haven't just really tried to do any more advanced searching on it, but I have a theory, and it's a very simple theory. Um, Jamaica sits on a tectonic plate, and there are lots and lots of minerals in Jamaica. Just like
Yes,
when they
sir.
found gold in Jamaica, they found so many different things in Jamaica. Bauxite was found in a lot of different places in Jamaica because it's a shale, and where there is shale, there's always oil. So they knew there was oil, they just had not decided to drill for it. So these people were drilling for a well for water. When they thought they would hit water underground, hit an aquifer, they clearly did not understand the natural composition of an island, especially like Jamaica, which is a volcanic island from the beginning. It's
Mm-hmm.
directly connected to a bigger volcano underground. So they're not
Yeah.
thinking about the fact that anything they tap into is got to be coming from something else.
The
And
fault
by
line.
saying that, I just really want to remind people that Jamaica has Fern Gully, which has the oldest ferns and living plants on the planet. They have been carbon dated to be older than the ones in the Olduvai Gorge, which is where they found the DNA for Eve, the first being on the planet. So Jamaica has been discussed as the Garden of Eden because of all the things that are there.
Mm-hmm.
That is also one of the reasons why I believe the Chinese are there. Yes, the Chinese. The Chinese know about the oil. The Chinese know about the social problems. The Chinese know about the bodies that are missing that have organs in them. The Chinese know about the corruption. The Chinese knows about it all. And like a bad neighbor, the Chinese are there. I wondered for a long time what was the real reason that the Chinese were there. And I think we have come to a conclusion this week because amazingly, for a show with such a volatile topic, we have pretty much stepped on every roach in the room, and the rest of them are terrified because they are underneath the refrigerator because they already know we got hot water. Now, wherever the Chinese go, they go because of corruption. That's the only reason that they go there is because they can pay someone to let them do what they do. When people finally find out what they're doing, they get ran out. Remember what they did in Africa, and every country that they went to in Africa and built the substandard roads and the really bad other types of businesses that they got ran out. All over Africa, the Chinese had to leave. Now, I have a theory. It's a little bit cranky, but I think it might explain some of this. When you lay down with the dog, you get up with fleas. But some of these fleas might actually help you to become immune to some of the other bigger bugs that are out there. So I think they were trying to get immune to America by getting a bigger criminal. And when I say they, I'm talking about the underworld of Jamaica. And I'm not necessarily saying that the parliament is a part of that, but they're the only ones who I know that make laws in Jamaica, and that would be the same thing. So until we really understand the economic damage and devastation that's going on in Jamaica on a daily basis by all of these different industries and how much they are siphoning off the island, we won't even be interested in the very fact that they are probably now removing natural resources that we still haven't even discovered.
And you know what they're using? They're using the fork line. They're saying there's a fork line in Blue Mountain, okay, Falls, and they're saying that there's also a fork line under the ocean where there's a crest that is forming, and that is what is causing these effects, these tremor. Now, I think it's not just Jamaica. I think that organization we've been talking about for a couple of years now, I think that has a whole lot to do with this, because this report is not just coming from Jamaica, it's also coming from across the world, because they're saying that also in the state of, I think it's, where are my notes? In the state, I think it's, Lord of mercy, Illinois, where my page? Anyway, in one of the states here in America, they're saying that fork line also exists, and it is one of the biggest fork line that they have. Now, okay, here we go. Uh, mm, okay, I'm sorry, I'm missing my notes. But anyway, they're saying that in America, there's one that is the biggest fork line there is. But I don't think it is. That's what's happening. I really
That's the
think they're
Grand Madrid,
drilling.
the
I
Grand
really think
Madrid
they're
fault.
drilling. Yeah. Right. Um. I think they're just drilling, and that's what they're doing. They're saying, "Oh, here it is, right here. Fork lines allow." Okay. Mm, the fork lines occur, and it's to move relatives from each other. That's what they're saying. But
Well, the
how these things are happening so often. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
well, we
Because normally you don't hear earthquake happening so frequent, especially in an area as Jamaica. We never used to hear that years ago. Rare you heard something like that occurring. And then all of a sudden it seemed like every week there's an earthquake occurrence. Now these earthquakes are not simple earthquakes. They're 5 point something Richter on the Richter scale. So these are big quakes. These are big shakes, and people are feeling it, you know, and there has to be something going on underground in order for this to be happening.
well, we
So
definitely knows that they are digging, and that's why they're talking about oil, which Mama Acid, when you asked if I remember around that time, that's why I when if you all first heard me saying that as long as they've been talking about oil seeping, this
yeah,
is not the first. Um,
yeah,
what they know what's going on. So
they know what's going on.
when
I'm
you
sorry, I found my note. San
when
Francisco.
you all see the big guns coming out,
Hmm.
then you will
Hmm.
know that they are really, really getting ready to extract these oils. Um,
They are. Mhm.
and the atrocity of it is that they're totally um, taking Jamaica off balance with all of this.
And,
And
and Jamaica might not reap anything from it.
I'm not even talking about Jamaica reaping anything. I'm just talking about the island in itself. You know, the earthquakes, the
Yeah.
potential
'Cause-
tsunamis,
yeah.
the weather.
And
I mean,
8 point hard Richter
uh,
scale coming up. Yeah. Mm,
just a lot of the
sad.
things that are affecting the earth itself. Jamaica
Mm,
itself, the country, the
mhm,
island itself. So
mhm.
um, I'm hoping that with all of what our government is doing, they can remember that this is a little island. This is a little island,
Mhm.
and
A lot of punch.
that they look at a lot of those things and don't just go off of greed. And as Queen states, yeah, the little man is definitely not going to reap any,
Not gonna get anything.
anything
Because it's been
from what is.
secretive. They're keeping it secretive. Yeah. Hey, you
They're
don't
not
know about it. They're not gonna know anything about it.
anything from anything. Um,
A lot of the public don't even know this exists. A lot of Jamaican people do not know that this oil exists because they don't believe that it exists.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not even anything close to being truthful.
okay, we're gonna
Maybe it's
go.
not. Maybe just a way
No,
of
but
just.
it
Queen,
was found on
Queen,
people's
Queen,
property.
Queen.
I'm
Let
sorry.
could you
I know
let
I get
yes,
carried away. Yeah, I'm sorry.
finish his thought. Go ahead, the respecter, because I didn't even get to finish. Go
Like
ahead.
I said earlier, it's a possibility that this is just a situation to somebody plan to become a millionaire or billionaire by saying they discover something that is not
Mm-mm.
actually something. But people are doing these things nowadays, mainly Caucasian people, and it's a scam. It's a it's all kind of evil reason why they're doing it, and they have people in place that says yes and stamp it, and you're rich now, and you don't have nothing to show why you're rich. It's just a game they play, and people believes it.
Yeah, Donna says kinetic energy. Yeah, I'm just hoping once again, I'm just hoping that this oil thing, since it's becoming a big thing all of a sudden, that
Mm-mm.
it doesn't just totally ruin Jamaica, the Jamaica's environment, Jamaica's foundation. I hope it just and the greed that's going to come behind it and the invasion that's also
Like they did in Kenya.
to
Mm-hmm.
invasion that's also going to come into it from all of these other countries once
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans don't understand the country that they have. I don't feel that they understand how rich their island is, and we need to let this island stay the way it is, because I mean the serious effect that's going to take place from it,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy that they don't see what's going to happen. Mama Acid, you go ahead. I got wait before you go, Mama Acid. We have Noni the Juice on. Blessings to you, sis. Happy belated birthday to you as well. Um, and we do have a caller on the line. Mama Acid, go ahead, and then the caller. We'll dive right into you. I think that's Donna. Go ahead. Mama Acid.
One of the issues with natural resources in Jamaica is that we really don't have a full view of all of the economic resources, probably because the government, every time there is a new economic resource that could be surveyed, basically just calls a press conference and says, okay, everybody knows about it, so just be quiet now. So when we figure out who's going to get the money from it, then, we'll figure it out at that point. So, it's just like the shoreline. For a long time, I used to say to people, they're going to cut off the shoreline. Somebody said to me, they can't because, it's too many fishermen. And I said, when they built that marine park in Montego Bay, I saw it then. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all can think that I'm just a wild illusionist, but I stay up at night and read books.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
And they're not all nice. But Jamaica is very rich. It's so rich that I want to say something that people have never heard me say. It is too rich for a person like me. I will never be rich enough to live or buy a house in Jamaica. I will never be rich enough to own a house in Jamaica. And that, in my pain of my heart, makes me understand how precious it is for those who do and how hard we have to work to preserve what they have. Because what they have is what we should all wish that we could get.
Hmm. I want it right now. Ah!
See, see.
I'm trying to get it. Mm.
Caller, Donna.
Hi, good night, everyone. It's
Good night.
Donna. How
Good
you?
night.
We okay?
Good night. Yeah.
Hey, Donna.
Um. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Okay, what's your input
Okay. Yeah.
on what's
Good
going
to hear
on?
from you, Mama Ashley, because you hadn't been on for so long. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to continue on the topics that we were having last week. I don't know if anybody researched about what's his name, PJ Patterson.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. What was in regards to PJ?
Excuse me.
Yeah, what was in regards to PJ Patterson?
Remember last week we were talking about PJ Patterson and if anyone knows what became of him. I had asked you, if you could look into it and
Yeah.
um
He's
Um,
still around. Hmm.
PJ Pat he
right,
is around. He was on the he just retired or something to that effect off of the privy council.
right,
He was on that board, and we did cover that he was in office for 2 terms. He did 2 terms. The Respecter had spoke on that part
right.
with
He was
PJ
actually the
Patterson,
longest serving prime minister
prime
ever in
minister,
Jamaica.
and
Yeah, and they still look to him, for ideas and what have you. But that's as far as it goes.
yeah.
Well, that's as far as we think that it goes.
And it
You,
wasn't
what I'm saying, go ahead.
it wasn't true that he was gay. He was just happy.
Well, I'm not too. You see, because the thing is that, like I said, being a victim of what I was victimized by, someone had me incarcerated. Okay, and being that, I know that this is a United Kingdom matter, and he got his degree from the London School of Economics and Political Science, and most of everything that occurred revolved around that. Okay, so the thing is that what happened to my properties? Like I just see that everyone became so rich, and we were speaking about earthquakes and things of the sort, and yeah, because they modernized the Jamaica's infrastructure and they're able to do things that people would think that is caused naturally or it's some sort of natural disaster, but it actually isn't. You get what I'm saying? So I
Okay,
mean,
so you
I pretty
saying
much
that
speak to
PJ,
everyone.
so you were saying that PJ Patterson and the government at the time that when he was in office stole your land.
Yes, and he distributed my property.
He distributed
Okay,
to whom?
and a lot. I mean, I can barely hear you
No, I'm saying
again,
he
lady.
he distributed your property to whom?
To whomsoever. I mean, pretty much a lot of people became so wealthy and they totally feel like they're above the law, has been acting as if they're above the law. You target a certain set of people, Wherein, like, I didn't even get into the thing if, because he's from Hanover and we're from Hanover, my mother's side. Okay. So the United Kingdom side is from Hanover, and that is where he's from. All right. So it's in regards to the McLean legacy. And I noticed like things that occurred right before I had gotten arrested and I took out a federal Stafford student loan. And they went on, they went on a rampage. They built the Brooklyn Tower, they built the Barclays Center. Do you think I'm not going to know that it was from that loan that I took out? Now, imagine I set you up so many different times. Okay, with the car, there was a car because I always buy my cars cash, and I financed the car and the bank that financed the car that was I financed the car through was HSBC, which is one of the biggest four banks of the United Kingdom, the and Barclays and so forth and so on, and I can go on and on and on. All right, so I see what you did. There's no disputing those facts, and you keep going, and the people whom are showing like no regard to the law, like they're above the law and they can say and do whatever. I see. I see that it's some sort of I always point out LGBTQ. I have nothing against anybody and their choices. But in the meantime, between time, I'm not gonna have you to pretty much is it considered to be a hate crime if they go against heterosexual people, because you claim it as a hate crime if we say something that is negative about LGBTQ.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
so
not sure where we're going. I'm not quite
no,
sure where we're going
what?
because
Okay, so I'm gonna let you.
we went from stealing your land in Jamaica to America to LGBTQ. So I'm trying.
Okay,
I'm
because
not following.
no, okay, because Respecter had just said that he's not gay, he's just happy. So
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm just making that part clear. It's not something that, but I see that you attack me or you certain people in the same way. You have a certain position. You it's like you used your entitlement as a barrister.
So
You
how
had
was he able?
someone.
How was he able to steal the land? And what in explain that a little bit? Like how did he
Oh,
steal the
okay.
land from you
Oh,
all?
okay, so he used his position because pretty much like we're not independent. As we were speaking, like even though Jamaica has its independence and America has its independence, the United Kingdom still displays supreme authority.
Right.
Do
Correct.
you get me? Right. So
Yeah.
just like in the courts and everything. So you
Mhm.
still come here and you do as you like because when I was incarcerated for no reason whatsoever because you did something to my mother. Okay, so it's all about her legacy and
So you were
her not.
incarcerated here in America or incarcerated in Jamaica?
No, I was incarcerated here in America on Rikers Island for over a year for nothing, absolutely nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
And this was
so
all
I know
based
that.
off of the theft of the land in Jamaica?
Excuse me.
Is this all based off of the theft of the land in Jamaica by allegedly by PJ Patterson and his administration?
Yes, yes. It's in Jamaica. It's here. It's all over the place because we don't only have properties in Jamaica or in America. So the thing that is just what everything is about because as you know, you have your degree, you're in political science,
Okay.
right? So
All
then
right.
you know, which is affiliated with psychology, which there's a whole lot of psychology going on, law,
Okay, so I
strategy,
think maybe this
war.
conversation in regards to um the a previous administration from almost, I think we can safely say 10 years, 15 years ago, um and your land dispute. I think that's something that maybe we need to really do off of the air versus that on the air, because
Yeah, well,
it's
the thing is that because we started discussing this on the air,
Uh-huh.
last week. And the thing is that even with what's the president's name here, Biden,
Yeah.
right? So Biden, someone chased him off. I'm just trying to get people to see like who believes that they have supreme authority. Okay, because you pretty much privatized everything, shut the door in my face, and then you keep going. You're still trying to kill me, right? Because you already probably said that I'm dead. Okay, and you're collecting my legacy, sharing it amongst you and your
So have you
people.
went to the
And
court system of Jamaica and to try to rectify this situation with the proper documentations and so
what
on?
Well, the thing is, when you know what, they barred me from going to Jamaica, as if I committed this big crime when because that's the first place I was going, and they told me that I couldn't travel. You
Were
stopped me from traveling because
were you born
you know,
here in America or were you
I was,
born in Jamaica?
no, I was born in America. I was the only
So
one that was born here
how
for my mother.
how were they able to bar you from Jamaica? You
Yes,
were
because this is
deported
what
from
they did.
Jamaica. Did you go? Go ahead. Did you go
They
to
created.
Jamaica and something happened and they deported you from Jamaica in order to bar
No,
you from Jamaica?
they told me that I could not travel. It's pretty much like how you would say, okay, Bourgeois is he can't come back to America because he was deported. So it's pretty much what you're saying is if I was like you
Okay.
don't treat me as if I'm a deportee.
Okay,
You
well
okay
listen.
and cannot
I
return
think
to
I
Jamaica.
I think that we need to discuss this possibly off air
Can I
because
ask, can
Yeah,
I ask one question, lady?
discuss this off the line,
go
but
ahead, the
you see the
respecter.
Can I,
thing,
Donna,
reason
The
why.
the
Mm,
respecter wanted to ask a question.
Donna,
yeah, respect.
were you supposed to inherit your legacy from that your parents left?
Yes, I was supposed to inherit the legacy. Okay, my grandfather, which is my mother's father, his legacy is the McLean legacy. Then you have it's a whole lot of mix up. Then you have the Moody's legacy. So I have a business in which they stole Universal Sample Card Company. Okay, so you stole that business and you used your supreme authority of the UK to take over my business. Okay,
So
and pretty much yes.
can I tell you what you should do really? Because it seems like this been going on a while. You haven't thought about write a book about it?
Well, to even write a book, yeah, I thought about that, but writing the book is not going to solve the problem. Writing the book, yeah, I can, because pretty much everything that I'm stating is going to be in the book. Like, someone offered to write the book for me as well, but it's going to have multiple volumes because I discover something like pretty much every day. So that book would have multiple volumes. It wouldn't just be one book. Okay, so this is something that is an ongoing thing, wherein that
Okay.
I notice how these people operate. Okay,
Okay.
and the thing is that they use it's a trade matter,
Okay.
and it's
Uh,
where it's that you want to have.
Sharon
Go ahead.
Sharon says Jamaican people are like the cow that didn't know the use of his tail.
I can't hear anything that you're saying, lady.
Sharon says Jamaican people are like the cow that didn't know the use of his tail until Fly took up his ASS. Until Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
start falling apart by earth, quicksand, volcano eruptions, we won't take things seriously. I agree with that, Sharon, and that's why I'm wondering if Jamaica really, really understand what is going on. And if the citizens of Jamaica do not stand up and let their
Mm-hmm.
voices be heard, the destruction of the island is going to be on them. We obviously see that the politicians are full of greed, and I don't know what's going on with Jamaican people. Why they won't stand up the same way as, and I keep repeating it, the same way they stand up and go out there for Vibes Cartel. They need to stand up to the government and with the same tenacity and vulgarness and all of these. They need to go out there and stand in front of Parliament. Everybody know when Parliament keep. Go stand in front of Parliament and protest. Those are the only ways changes can be made in Jamaica, and that's the number one thing. Changes need to be made, and it's only going to be made with people's voices. So I agree. What is it going to take? What is it going to take for Jamaica to change and to stand up? Exactly what you said. Volcano
because
eruptions, quick, tsunamis. The
because
signs
they
are
don't
already there with earthquake. The
Mm.
signs are
because they
there, and no one is take. Jamaican people are not taking heed to what is
because they don't know
going
where it's
on.
coming from.
It's
Them too busy worrying about what each other have from what each other don't have. Look at this craziness that's going on with the blogger them out there in Jamaica, Cola Smith and some other Nick whatever. Instead of they focus on the issues that are facing them out there in Jamaica, they're worrying about who have car, some who don't have car, who this, who that. They don't care. They like them say they licky licky, and that's all them think. Well, who gonna give me $20? Who gonna give me $40? They're not thinking about how they gonna make it on their own.
They're not focused on
It's
what they
sad.
need to
Well,
be focused on. Mama
because
Acid, go
they have
ahead. Mama Acid,
Yep.
go ahead.
I wanted to say to Donna, I understand where you're coming from, but I also feel like your story is just like all of the rest of our stories of what Jamaica stole from us. And I'm not trying to sound crass. I'm just saying that we all feel like Jamaica owes us something. So I would like to challenge you, Donna, to not just write the book about it, but to also come up with all the facts so that you can go to court like the respecter says, and you can make PJ pay you because PJ is rich, quite rich. And I think that it's time that they should start paying their victims. I'm not
Yeah.
calling you a victim. I'm just saying
Mm.
people that they've done stuff to, they need to pay them.
Yeah,
And I'm saying that not as though it's the first time I've said it, because I said it at dinner one night with Uncle Eddie. Eddie Siaga was not my uncle, but he treated me like I was a family member and was very nice to me. Once he met me, he liked me. So I was given access to people that I would not normally have had access to. And I can tell you, as a poor girl, they are not like we think they are. They don't like us. They talk
Yeah.
about us. They say things that we wish they would not have said about us, because when we find out about it, we don't want to be around them anymore because they're not nice people. If they were, they couldn't get elected to politics.
Hmm. Yeah, you got to be crooked to be elected.
exactly.
they you so that's
Listen,
what
we have
that's what we have to come together and realize, where is the destruction coming from? And you hear you and people praise them. Oh, you modernize the infrastructure of Jamaica, but pretty much what you're trying to do, I think you're just trying to destroy Earth, the whole
Mhm.
world. It is
yeah,
not. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with any specific country.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
So
and
that's where
Donna
you
is
have.
once
Where
again.
are these things are coming from? They're not naturally caused.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's
So this is
definitely.
what it is, and you got to look at the export resources from United Kingdom and these places that these people are affiliated with, and you can see the harm that can be done by these these main resources that they export all over the world. Okay, including computers, um, electrical generators, and all sorts of things, because that's exactly what Barclay Center is. Yeah, I don't even want to continue, because if I continue, but I had to put that out there because they raped my mother.
Just write the damn book, Donna.
What, they didn't want me to know that, and they put it out there as Emet Sent Gian got raped on South. and they found her body on Fountain Avenue. These are wicked people, and I'm wondering why you keep bothering me. When you come
Donna,
into
just
my
write the book.
house,
They're dangerous too, Donna. So you should write that book.
Just
huh?
write
You
the
need
book,
to do
Donna.
it. You need to make sure people understand who they are.
What I'm saying, because what you
You
did, you
have a
came into my
story. You
house.
have you
Suppose
Donna. Donna, you have a
okay, go ahead.
story. You have a story to be told. And I
Yes,
think that um as the respecter says, as Mama Acid says, I think you really need to sit down and put a lot on paper, because
mm,
a lot of what it takes us digging through a lot of what you're saying for us to kind of understand
and
exactly a
yeah,
lot of what you're going through. And when you've gone through so much and you're trying to
mm,
express so much in such short time,
mhm.
it's not coming through in its entirety. I feel that you
Right,
really
because and
really
even if
need
it do,
to.
I'm all over the place, so sometimes
Yeah.
you might be
So I
confused.
feel
Right.
that's why I said it may be a conversation to be held off of air, because I think
Yeah.
it's you have a lot of deep thoughts,
But I
and I
just
know
I
that it's something that really should be written, and it's something that once you get all your facts and your paperwork and stuff together, I feel that it's something that you should
I
pursue
I have it,
on a
and I
criminal
and I want them
basis.
to know because they're listening. They come into my house in the night while I'm sleeping. You have some device that keeps me asleep because I'm a light sleeper.
Okay,
You come into
because
my house, you
we
put
only
all
have
sorts of
three
things.
minutes. We have 3 minutes to go, so we have to wrap it up. All righty, but
Okay,
I'm
so you and
definitely
next
not making.
again
I'm definitely
is
not
my
making.
mother
Yeah, I'm definitely
and my
not
daughter.
making light
Whoa, you're so evil.
of. I'm not
Okay.
making light of what you're saying, because it's
Mhm.
serious, and who feels it knows it. So,
Mhm.
but the most we can say tonight is put your thoughts down on pen and paper, you know,
Okay, and
and
I want
then
the people. Yes, I do,
then
and I want the
pursue it.
people to know the disasters aren't naturally caused. I want you to know where it's coming from
Right.
because you see,
We
I just put.
definitely don't think that it's naturally caused.
I,
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't think that it's naturally caused, but we're gonna have to go. So
mm,
Mama Acid, you wanna say River Dolce?
Absolutely. Donna, thanks for calling. We really appreciate you sharing your story with us, and we can't wait until you start getting this book ready for us to be able to read chapters of it to all the people who are going to really understand how deep the circle is. Because Queenie talked about the Illuminati last week and the New World Order, and I'm not talked
Wow.
about it because I just can't bring myself to go that far. But I just want to say to everybody else, we all got stories. We got to make sure that we're heard by writing it down. People will buy your book. So make sure you tell your story. And Jamaica Parliament, we're not finished talking about you because, from my understanding, next week we're really going to start talking about the people of Jamaica.
Yeah. The
Mama
respecter,
asked, didn't I
the
tell you?
respecter,
And Lady D
the
from before that it's
yeah,
not. This
the
is Illuminati. This is not my
yeah,
family.
we have to
Remember,
go.
I
Go
told
ahead,
you guys that. I said I
the
don't know.
Donna,
If
respecter.
it's aliens. Okay,
Okay, the respecter.
it's
Go
not
ahead. We
them.
have
You
to
did
close
something
out.
to my mother
Okay, we have
and
to
my
close
please.
daughter
out. We have to
while I was
close
in
out.
school.
Donna, we
And
have
then
to
you built
Donna,
Brooklyn Tower
Donna,
One.
Donna, we have to
Okay,
close out. Go ahead, the
all right.
respecter.
Donna, we've been listening to you for a while and we understand and we all know that you're intelligent and we all got your back. So please stop talking and just do what we're asking you to do. It's for your best.
Okay.
You have to
Hmm.
write that book. Do like we all are telling you.
Mhm.
And you'll get your results. You will get your results. Just go ahead and write the book. Thanks for joining us, friends and families.
Okay. All right.
Queen.
Yeah, same thing. I'm saying too. Sometimes when you put things on paper, it's easier for you to see what it really entails than when you're verbally saying it. Um, I really, really appreciate this program, and I appreciate Lady D what you're bringing out there to the forefront. These topics should have been discussed and dealt with a long time ago. And it's now that we're really seeing what we have to do. So I really appreciate you, Lady D, for bringing this forward. I love you guys. Remember, subscribe to our station, press the like button, share, share, share. All the information you're getting, don't keep it to yourself. Send it out there to your friends and relatives and whoever you can send it to. I tell everybody in the lift in the morning, when I go to my center, I tell them all that's going on. So keep the word, keep it out there, keep on talking about it, because when you talk about it, you get results. Okay, I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.
Yes, and we just want to thank each and every one for listening, for commenting, and for sharing. We ask you to go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, get notified when our talk programmings are on. I also ask you to join me each and every Saturdays for the Lady D Show from 12 p.m. up until the 4 o'clock hour. The best in news, views, interviews, joke of the day, what you know about it, and all of these things. It is basically a musical program because we definitely talk up the things on Thursdays. So definitely share the YouTube channel and spread the word. Tell a friend, and colleague about Reasoning Thursdays as we continue our reasoning on the state of Jamaica for next week. We're going to touch the people of Jamaica and the people coming together and to try to make a change. Alrighty, so just keep it locked, Donna. I myself, second and third and fourth, what Queen and the Respecter and Mama Acid has says. You have a story to be told. You have to get it down on pen, and we get it down on
Mhm.
in black and white, or black and blue, or white and blue, or however they want to say it. But get it on paper, and structure everything. Put all your thoughts together, and then you can sort it in the manner that it needs to be sorted from past to current. And then maybe it can be more articulated a little bit better so the listening audience can totally understand what you're saying. We feel you, we love you, we appreciate you, and
Mhm.
we support you, and know that you have whatever obstacle that you need to go through. We will be here to definitely support and
And praying on it. Yeah, praying for you. Yeah.
definitely encourage you to go forth and regain your legacy, because there's
Mm.
nothing more than that we have to pass on to our children and our grandchildren and so on, but our legacies. All righty. So for the You Choose Radio. I want to thank you for continuing to carry us. I know that there was a little technical difficulty on your end. And also, I want to say big shouts to the Victorious crew and for each and every one that listened through all of our outlets at our TuneIn app and all of these things. I'm hoping that you all are watching what is going on with the American government as well right now.
Yep.
Kamala Harris is supposed to be swearing in as the Democratic nominee. So you can always go back on YouTube and watch that as well if you've missed
Mhm.
it, because you was tuned in with us right here on the Powerhouse Radio. So we just want to say big shouts to you. We thank you for the support and Queen, I love you. And
I love you.
it's not about me on Reasoning Thursdays. It's about each and every one of us. It's about
Yeah.
me, it's about you. It's about the Respecter. It's about Mama
Hmm.
Acid. This is
Yeah.
not just a Lady D thing. This is us collectively coming together and making this happen each and every week. And trust and believe there's no way that I can do this without all three of you. I really love you all, and I appreciate the times that you all take out to get the information, and for all of us to articulate it and to put it together and bring it forth to our listeners. So it's never a Lady D show. This is Reasoning Thursdays, where all of us takes credit for everything that is put out on this platform. So big ups to each and every one of you. Loving it to the max, and Donna and Don Minot, our Sharon, our longtime listeners and supporters. We thank you all for continuing to support and spreading the word to each and every one that they need to tune in. So big ups and blessings to each and every one. I'll check you all on out Saturday, 12 to 4. If you don't join me Saturday, then I'll definitely meet you right back here on this platform, Reasoning Thursdays, 8 p.m. next Thursday, same time, same place, and same station.
And we
Bless,
love you too.
Love you guys.
blessings.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.